The term content marketing has got emphasized so much in the recent time, but if we look at it, content has always been there. Earlier it used to be a lot more in the form of print media, but now it has moved into the digital form. So content marketing is basically anything that a business uses to reach out to its audience. It could be in the form of videos, it could be in the form of articles, it could be in the form of blogs, it could be in the form of graphics and anything. So the basic concept of content marketing is to put your business in front of the audience, to make it likable and present the real story behind your business, what you're trying to achieve, what the problem that you're trying to solve with your business.
Hey, hello everyone. So, welcome back to the 101 session with a thought leader. And for today, we have an interesting person. So, we have Arjun Sethia with us. Arjun has been in the content development and marketing industry for quite some time. So, he is going to share his insights about content marketing, content development, and many other things which are coming up on the session. So, stay tuned. And before I actually obviously steal the limelight, since Arjun is right here beside me, so I'll obviously give the podium to Arjun. So Arjun, why don't you take the 2 minutes and talk about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Siddharth. Okay, so as Siddharth told, my name is Arjun Sethia, and I've been in the content marketing game for almost a decade now. I started my journey way back in 2011. Initially, I had a background in hardcore science. Like I was an embryologist first. I worked as an embryologist, not that wiki donor kind of thing. But then, obviously, I had interest in content writing. So I got to know about there's a thing called content writing, digital marketing, SEO, and all. So I stepped into the industry, and I've been fortunate enough to get good success. Like I was working as a ghostwriter with one of the organizations where my content got featured as LinkedIn's top 16 voices for 3 consecutive years. So that was a pretty good thing. And after that, I moved to Canada for almost a year. I came back just before the pandemic. And after that, I've been running my own sort of a little bit of creative writing gigs and some freelance consulting kind of thing. So that's pretty much about it. Yes, but throughout these 10 years, content marketing has given me a lot of exposure and some beautiful memories that I would love to cherish and share with everyone out there. Thank you.
Perfect, great. Thank you so much, Arjun. So your journey is a little intriguing one. So all the way from science to content marketing, that's like a complete different shift. All right, great.
I get that a lot.
Okay, so this is interesting. I'm really looking forward to the Q&A, how you actually help us with those concepts. All right, so before we start and get deep dive into the Q&A, so let's just try to peppen up the mood and let's go ahead to the rapid fire round, right? So the rapid fire, you ready with the rapid fire, right?
Yeah, sure, always ready.
Okay, cool. So here's the first question. Okay, so the first question is that one destination where you want your dream house to be.
Paris.
Ah, lovely. Okay. So the other one is asked to write a book addressing the youth of the nation. What would it be about?
Stay away from politics.
That's an interesting one. Okay, I didn't expect that. The other one, third, is the cuisine which you tried but did not really stand up to its hype.
Anything vegetarian, like I'm hardcore vegetarian.
Okay, so I second that. I say it's the same with me too. Cool. So here's the fourth one. Given a chance to interview a famous personality, you can even consider dead or alive. So who would it be?
Milkha Singh. I want to know what happened in that race.
Ah, lovely. Got it. So here's the fifth one. So fifth one is one life lesson you learned and tell almost every other person about.
Never stop learning. Learn from anything and everything that's around you, from any person that's there around you. You get to learn. So there is so much to learn. You cannot even imagine what lessons you can get. But yes, keep learning every day, every moment.
Absolutely, and that's the core of Sikho. So yeah, I completely agree on that.
I'm not getting paid to answer this.
No. So okay. So here's the next. Now we are done with the simple rapid fire. We are actually moving on to the the other concept, which is swipe left and swipe right. Right. Yeah. So swipe right if you agree with it. Swipe left if you don't like it. Okay. Okay. Cool. So here are the options. First one, world tour.
Yes. Swipe right.
Okay. Cool. Corporate life.
Swipe left.
Okay. Cooking.
Swipe right.
Okay. Gaming.
Swipe right.
Okay. Binge watching.
Swipe right.
That was a loud swipe right. Okay, cool. So great. We're done with the rapid fire. So now that we are in the mood to answer these questions which are coming up. So Arjun, so here are some questions that we formed with respect to the content marketing. We would love your
Yep.
insight. So the very first thing to start with. So first of all, if you can just in layman language help us understand what's content marketing for the people out there, and then why is it actually important right now in the current scenario in the market?
Yeah, sure. See, content marketing, the term content marketing has got emphasized so much in the recent time. But if we look at it, content has always been there. Earlier, it used to be a lot more in the form of print media, but now it has moved into the digital form. So, content marketing is basically anything that a business uses to reach out to its audience. It could be in the form of videos, it could be in the form of articles, it could be in the form of blogs, it could be in the form of graphics, and anything. So the basic concept of content marketing is to put your business in front of the audience to make it likable and present the real story behind your business, what you're trying to achieve, what the problem that you're trying to solve with your business. Obviously, it is the most important thing for a business because there is no other way that people are going to find out what you are doing. Content is the only means to make it public, like make your business known in front of your audience, let them know that there exists certain brand that can solve their problem. Obviously, people are always going to look for things that solve their problem, be it from their household, be it from their professional life, be it in their personal life. And content marketing is that resource which businesses need to use effectively to present themselves so that they can fetch more audience and grow in their respective fields. Yeah.
Yeah, so just to add on to it, so basically we saw the shift right specifically in the pandemic, right, wherein
Right.
everything was shifting,
Right.
and when you didn't see something which was physical, everything was there out there in
Exactly.
the digital market world, and that's where the content hit, as
Exactly.
hard as it can be.
The
So
game has picked up its speed in the recent year or so. Yeah.
exactly. So this definitely changed the game. Great. So now that we know about why it's important, so your tips to develop that great, content marketing strategy, what would it be?
Oh, okay. Three things I would like to mention here. A good content marketing strategy depends upon three basic pillars. First is your audience, second is your expertise, and third is your understanding of what the audience needs. So obviously, when you develop a product or a service, you develop it for a specific niche. You have a certain set of audience in mind who have a problem, and you're trying to solve that problem with your product or service. So the first important thing is to keep that audience in mind, what they like. Obviously, we've got so many tools, data available out there that we can use to predict what the audience are going to like, what the trends are. Secondly, obviously, based on their requirement, you have to present your business in such a way by using your content, be it in the form of videos, be it in the form of graphics, that people know why you are the subject matter expert in that particular area, in that field. Once you get to understand those two things, you will obviously be able to develop content that they want and that your audience want to see. Based on the understanding of these three things, when you mix the content and create it, obviously you're going to have a great content marketing strategy. So I would like to share something like this is what I try to do generally. Whenever I write something, I don't write it from my perspective. I try to understand what the business is doing, what the audience they are targeting, and then create something which aligns with their brand and the audience, what the audience want to say. So that helps me in delivering something that hits the chord with the audience more often than not.
Perfect. I really like how you summarized it in those 3 points. So guys, those are really three important really aspects. So next time that you're developing a content, focus
Yeah.
on those things. Great. So the third question that I have, Arjun, is so now that we know what's first of all the importance now the the agreed content marketing strategy. So
Yeah.
once that's done, how do you check its effectiveness? As in, how do you measure the effectiveness of the content marketing that you placed out there?
See, whenever you're developing a content marketing strategy, you have a goal in mind, what you want to achieve. It could be, getting signed up on the newsletter, it could be getting subscribers for your channel, it could be getting more paid customers coming to your website. So based on those goals, once you've created a piece of content, you just check whether it is meeting those actions. Like it might take a little while to pick up the speed, but yes, those three, like the end goal that you had kept in mind before starting the content, those you have to check. Besides that, I also believe the kind of response you directly get from the customers, from your readers, in the form of comments, in the form of likes, or whatever the parameter that you've set, that is the best way to judge the content. Data is always important, but yes, the response coming straight from the heart of customers is what matters the most.
Correct. Absolutely. So the best part is that once you have formed it and it's out there, so try to check as to how closer, basically, that
Right.
you are towards that aim, that
Yeah.
you landed up. Got it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, okay. So this is the next question is something of a hype, right? So we want to place it for you. So
Sure.
how can we make something go viral? What's your tip on that?
See, you never. If you'll think about, if you'll straight away plan, like I want to create something and it should go viral, it'll never happen. Viral things generally happen out of the blue, like some crazy shit that you're doing, and it all of a sudden it got recorded, and it, like that paragliding thing that got viral last year. So viral things generally don't happen with planning. But obviously, when you create something, you have it in mind that it must reach to maximum people, right? Once it reaches to maximum people, whether it goes viral or not, that's not in your hand. That's completely luck, or maybe the bots that are out there who are crawling different kind of parameters using that. But yes, your focus should be on creating content that people can connect with emotionally. If once you're able to connect that emotional chord, it is obviously going to perform well. I won't say that it can go viral every time, but yes, it will perform well. And I believe consistent traffic is more important than one odd viral thing. That's what I believe.
Agreed. I agree to that. I know people get overburdened that they try to do something of their own, and then
Yep.
suddenly they have advices. No, don't do this. Follow the trend. So what do you have to say about that?
I'm a little old school in that, because I don't believe that you should follow the trend. If you're passionate about something, and if you'll do it with your full heart, it is bound to succeed sooner or later. So instead of following the rat race and trying to create something that other person is doing, I would recommend doing something on your own. Following trends is not something that personally I'm a big fan of. Yeah, so that's why.
Got it. Perfect. I actually second to this thing because many other people out there who actually became successful, be it content people or even
Right.
content creators, as a matter of fact, they stood by something that they were doing unique, right, rather than following the trend which was out there.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I agree to this part. Great. So here's the next question, Arjun. So how can content marketing actually help address, that specific target audience throughout customer purchase journey? So this is something that which is primarily more of a B2C and B2B sort of a thing. So your thoughts on this?
So understanding your target audience is what matters the most. When you start a journey right from the awareness stage, you are feeding content to your audience. So depending upon the stage of the content, the stage of the buyer's journey, you have to create different kinds of content. Suppose let's begin with the awareness stage. So you are feeding content in the form of, say, social media. It is more of a generic content which attracts people to reach your business, right? As the user starts the journey, you have to feed him with the right kind of content. So say, suppose from the social media he lands on your website. So your website is a little more specific, which is addressing your particular expertise in the area. From there on, you start the journey, and then from there on, it builds a connection through email marketing, through constant activities and engagement on the different platforms. You keep reminding the user that you are there to solve their problem. It's not something that you're doing for yourself. You're solving the problem that a person has. So that is where content plays the most important role, because content is the only medium which helps you reach out to the audience. So creating content at
Agreed.
every stage of journey, targeting that step in the buyer journey, is what matters, and that's what a seasoned marketer does. Address the needs varying according to the different steps in the buyer's journey. So that's where content marketing comes into the picture.
So the key in that case, I think, is all about improvisation, right? You can't just
Exactly.
stick to a specific thing and just say that
Yep.
let's see as to how it's working, right? Improvise at
Right. You
every
have
step,
Yes,
and
you have to be on your toes at every stage of the buyer's journey. Like stage
agreed.
specific content. Yeah.
Got it. So, guys, content marketing is definitely, not the, just sitting and just relaxing at the part. So, like Arjun said, that's the thing.
Yep.
Be on your toes, improvise, look into the feedbacks, be active, and, just keep hitting
Yep.
on the right track. That's where, you would
It's
be able to.
it's
Wow,
not just
perfect.
articles and blogs. It's a lot more than that.
Right. Correct. I agree. Okay. So the next one, Arjun, this is more of marketing plus sales sort of a question. So this is like, how does marketing without talking about or even, promoting a product or a service helps create leads and services? Is that even possible? Or, what's your answer to that?
Yeah. So that's I use the term, like, obviously I use the term branding for it. That is,
Okay.
branding is the most important part of marketing. So the kind of we're saying that we're not talking about our product, but in a way we're putting what we do in the mind of the audience. So that's where branding comes into picture. We have seen so many, like Nike always creates campaigns targeted around motivation to the athletes. It is not creating their it is not putting their product at the forefront. It is putting the feeling that comes with wearing a Nike shoes, the feeling of success. Bonvita does it greatly. Like, it connects. It is targeting the that milk product is for the children, but it is targeting their mothers. That incites the feeling that a mother will feel, how she will feel when her children grows. So that is how you're putting your feeling in the mind of your audience, and once that feeling is ignited, they will automatically purchase your product or service. So this is what I believe the best part about marketing is. It is interconnected in so many different ways. It connects so many dots that in the end result it is all about sales. So marketing brings sales by branding. That's what I believe.
Got it. So this now the next question is actually sort of interrelated. So this is like so now we're talking about experimenting with the marketing,
Right.
experimenting with content, experimenting with ideas, and
Yep.
whatever the user has within their minds.
Right.
And everything I think comes from the empathy point of view. Just make yourself
Exactly.
in the
Exactly.
customer's shoes, like you rightly said in the between, and you said that I think from their perspective, what would they
They
see, what
want.
would they understand, right? So again, coming to it now for the marketers, so this is like the other side of the coin, right? Now standing here where we are as marketers, so this question is how and where to get that inspiration of creativity, as in what would your tips be over there?
See, there are two schools of thought. I believe creativity is something that comes from the inside. You cannot feed creativity. Obviously, you
Right.
can learn how to be creative, but some things are meant for some people. There are some people who are good at technical stuff. I'm not good at technical stuff. I'm good at creative part. So I believe that is the kind. Uh, as far as finding creativity is concerned, you get to learn that from the environment that surrounds you. I remember I'm not a big fan of Honey Singh songs, but what I believe is in every interview that he gives, he says that he likes to study people around him, be it the young people, be it elderly people. He learns from the environment and he tries to create songs that by using the words that are being spoken around him. In a similar way, as a content marketer, I try to study content online, whatever the platforms I feel like it, be it social media, be it on blogs like Huffington and whatever, Forbes, or whatever I believe is what people want to read, what the success they are feeling online. So I learn from them, and I believe creativity automatically comes when you know that this is happening around you. This is what people are looking forward to, and then once you get that inspiration, you can easily put that into words.
Got it. Perfect. I really liked how you used those examples and specifically, how you. I think that I really like this. So I myself am actually, a marketing. I'm pursuing marketing to be very honest,
Okay.
right? I'm trying to get into the marketing stuff. So
Right.
I agree to this that you have to be you always have to have that constant tick in your head that as to what's working, how
Right.
someone answers, how does someone think, what's
Exactly.
clicking for them, what is not clicking for them. So
Right.
I I agree over here. Great. So we are down to the eighth question. Okay, so this is going really fun. I really like this. So how can you or anyone out there use content marketing to increase brand presence in the most efficient way? This is something which is like asked, or probably this is like a burning question of every marketer out there. So
Right.
your thoughts on that?
So, according to me, consistency is the key. See, when you're creating content consistently, some of it might work, some of it might not work. But the key is to be present every single day. So yesterday I had posted something on LinkedIn. So I was going through a feed. Another person had posted that consistency doesn't matter as long as you're providing quality content. But I believe consistency along with quality is what creates a winning combination. You cannot create just one or good quality content every month and expect it to bring in the same numbers that you will get by delivering a post every single day or after every alternate day. So consistently creating good content will somehow at the same time it will also help you understand what is clicking with the audience and what's not. The more numbers you create, the more you will have the opportunity to study data, what's clicking and what's not. So consistently creating good content is what is going to help bring quality content and create a winning marketing strategy for you.
Agreed. I completely agree to this one for sure. I second you actually, rather than I am not sure who the person was who actually mentioned about the quality content part, but I completely agree with you. I second this on this. Okay, so the other thing that I have for you now, this is again sort of a burning thing, and
Yeah.
I would just like to quote. So I remember, so I had a mentor in marketing. He was a little old school, and I remember learning from him that the best part about him was he always used to come up with these intriguing marketing content stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed how he used to do that. And
Right.
when I always used to look up to him, and I asked him one day, so the toughest part for us as marketers, or even I'm sure you would be able to answer this better, that we have to address audience, and the audience is not the same, right?
Right.
Some people would like it, some people would not, some people would think maybe, or those different parameters that you have answers like agreed, somewhat agreed, or something like that. There will always be those distinguishes, right, between those
Right.
audience out there as well. So first of all, the question comes, how do we manage all the different audiences? How do we cater to them? And then how do we make sure the content is actually relevant for all of them? I
Right.
know that it's not going to be 100%, but still, as in the majority part of it. So, your thoughts on it?
Okay, so this is again where I believe accepting what's your strength comes into the picture. You cannot write content for everybody, right? So you have to figure out what's the major target audience that you have. You create content according to that, and everybody else who is not your target audience, if he or she is not agreeing to it, you have to simply acknowledge, empathize, and say, focus on what's your strength instead of trying to answer everybody and satisfy everybody. Obviously, in future, when once you venture into different kind of niches, once you've succeeded in one and then you venture into the other niche, you can specifically target that. But I believe what you are creating should be focused on what's your expertise instead of trying to please everybody out there. Acknowledgement and trying to address your expert, trying to address their queries by simply stating that this is the kind of thing you've been doing and this has been successful and this is what you mean to solve with your work is what matters. That's what I believe,
Agreed.
because I sincerely believe that you cannot please everyone. वो there's a saying in Hindi that goes, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, उन लोगों का काम है कहना. So you cannot please everyone.
Right, and so this is what one of my content, the guy that I'm speaking about. So he used to say this English quote, which was sorry, the Hindi quote more of that पांचों उंगलियां एक बराबर नहीं होती, right? Some people
Exactly.
would like it, some people would not
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
So you have to fix. I think that's a very relevant point which you rightly mentioned, as in focus on the target audience. And I
Right.
remember one when I was studying. So I myself am trying to become a creator and a
Right.
content creator sort of a person. So I remember I was studying this a lot, and this was an intriguing point which came up in my study, which was when you are writing a script and even forming content, though you have to understand, like you very rightly mentioned, understand your strength, but
Right.
more importantly, also see what audience you're catering to, right?
Right. Right.
Form the content from the very beginning rather than just making it and just pushing it out there and then thinking, okay,
Obviously.
let's
Yes.
see what's
Yes.
happening.
Yes.
I agree. I completely agree to this. Okay, so this brings us to the second last question. The time is flying. I really am enjoying the session. So,
Me too.
okay, so the next one is your advice for students and young aspirants out there as to how should they pursue their career in content marketing. I know you have a very diverse thing, like we started off, you started all the way from science and right away to content, but again,
Right.
what clicked for you? How did you thought probably something that came across to you that this is the right thing that I should go forward to? So your advice for people out there, or even I would say you can talk about, I think, a more clearer way as to people who are not from the field, and then they can find the light. Okay, this is the place that I want to be, but how should I go there? So your insights of it.
So my simple advice would be start early. When I started my career back then, there were limited opportunities. There was not too much of social media, no TikTok, no Instagram, and kind of thing. They were in their infancy. But right now, students, someone who is a creator, he has so many different platforms to start early. So whether you like to create videos, whether you like to write content, write articles, write poetry, you've got so many platforms. Try to put your content in front of people as soon as possible. Don't worry about failures. You will fail. I have failed countless times. I still fail every single day, because whatever I write, it's not necessarily that every single piece of content I create is successful. But yes, the success comes only with failures. Learn from your failures. Start as early as possible. That's the only thing. I started my writing career when I was 25. It was too late to me, but yes, I had the feeling that I'm going to make it somehow. I was not enjoying the thing I was doing as an embryologist, so I completely switched to it. I completely dedicated myself to it. Dedication and starting as early as possible, trying to create whatever you feel like, and never, don't even think about failures. I've written an article on LinkedIn that failures are the souvenirs of your success. So take it that way. Just check it out, and obviously start as early as possible. That's the only thing I would say to everyone listening to me out there.
I agree. So I have actually gone through that and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I must confess
Thank you.
that. But guys, so I did that. So guys, if you find Arjun Sethi on LinkedIn, please go through it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. He
Thank
had
you.
some great inputs over there. It certainly motivated me as well. Okay, so this brings us to the very last question, and this is like the Seco signature question, which we ask every other creator, right? So this is, since we primarily promote learning and then we promote micro learning. So your advice for students and young people, or even any other person out there, I would say, because learning doesn't really have an age. Even if you're like old, you
Yeah.
can still learn,
Yeah.
right? So advice for people out there as to why learning every day is so important. What are your thoughts?
Okay. So you never know what's in store for you. What you're doing right now you might have been doing a job for 10 odd years and still you're not passionate about it. But learning something new might give you that passion. I've seen so many people, like the digital media has transformed the lives of so many people. They found their passion at the age of 40, 50, 60 year of age. We see so many influencers coming out there, not only on the television but on digital media as well. So learning gives you that opportunity to to restart your life once again from where you wanted it to be since when you were a child. Right, I can see when I meet my parents, I can see that they have been doing a certain kind of job. They were into government job, they've been doing a job, and they've lived their life in a way. But when they watch something on television, that dream, that vision of theirs, it is reflected in their eyes. They were not able to do it because they were not inspired. They did not have the resources that our generation has. So learn. You never know when you get your passion, and you might completely give your life a makeover and lead the life of your dreams. So that's why I believe learning is important, because it helps you find the passion that you might want to. Yeah.
Agreed. So completely agreed. So guys, again, like I rightly said, and even Arjun rightly said, so learning is definitely important, even if it's like tiniest bit that you learn. Every day is a new learning day, as you might have heard about this. So give it a thought, and what Arjun said is perfectly bang on answer. And that brings us to the end of the 101 session. So that's like all the Q&A that we did. I am exhausted. I have actually exhausted the list that I had prepared. So I thoroughly enjoyed the Q&A session. I hope you enjoyed as at the same point in time too.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Cool. So, guys, this brings us to the end, like I said, and now we would be signing off. So again, please stay tuned to the Seco on YouTube. He's there on Seco app as well, so you can obviously check our Seco app on the videos, and you can obviously follow him on LinkedIn and many other portals. And stay tuned again, because we are again going to come up with many more interesting thought leaders out there who are going to share their knowledge and insights with you, as similar to as Arjun Setia. So Arjun, once again, thank you so much for taking time out for the 101 session. We thoroughly enjoyed to have you and obviously have the 101 session with you, and really looking forward to in the days ahead to stay connected and to have more collaboration.
It has been great. It has been great. Thanks for the opportunity, and I thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it. So looking forward to much more such opportunities. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Thank you, guys.